I thought you were in Germany.
Well, I'm being reassigned. I requested something in the States and they allowed me a little leave to see the kids until I get my orders. I could use some nachos and a slushie.
The red kind? You have not changed at all. She's the mother of my kids. We're always gonna be cool.
That's fine.
But look, we didn't work out. And, we promised we'd stay friends for the sake of the kids.
I'll tell you one thing. Once a college sweetheart, then a wife, mother to Tony's children, and now ex-wife who he maintains a friendship with. Now, to some extent, I don't really see Danny being in the right here. During the live stream last night, a lot of people agree with me. Other people felt, some kind of way about how close Tiffany and Tony are. But to me, it makes sense. I mean, look, Danny and Tony, okay, there was a 3-month time skip, and then there have been, probably several weeks that have passed since the beginning of season 7. So, to put it bluntly, Tony and Danny have not even been together 6 months yet. I think that's a safe, assumption to make in terms of the passage of time. But the thing is, we don't know. I don't believe it was stated last night. We don't know how long these two have been divorced. I don't even believe we know why they got divorced. I guess if we go off of what Tony said in season 6 when he was first introduced, she just wasn't the right one for him. If I were, and again, I don't want to just make assumptions, but hey, I need the headcanon theories because the show hasn't given us more intel yet. But maybe it's a situation where Tony was more relaxed and Tiffany was more uptight because of her military upbringing and whatnot. Because, after talking about how she went from sergeant to major, I and then how proud her pops would be of her, I'm guessing that she was raised in a military family. I'm thinking that could be one reason, Tony being more happy-go-lucky and her being more stern and whatnot. But then when you look at how they interacted, I feel like it could have been a situation, again, just theorizing, maybe it's one of those things where rather than being the traditional kind of wife, Tiffany wanted to pursue further, ranking in her military career. So that could have been a reason for the split where she focused more on her career rather than, her family, especially with her, being in her line of work. She probably got stationed in various other countries and stuff. So she was never really a quote unquote stay-at-home mom or a mom with a job that was, a few blocks away from the house, that kind of thing. That's, me just thinking out loud here. But if you look at their dynamic, introducing herself as his wife, and Tony had to be the one to clear it up as ex-wife, and seemingly just popping up, surprising him because she got reassigned and they allowed her some, time off to be with her kids. It is possible that Tiffany wants more. Maybe Tiffany does want to kind of rekindle things with Tony, but walking in on him and Danny the way she did, I don't know. This is definitely House of Pain vibes in terms of the dynamic between Calvin, his ex-wife and the mother of his son, Miranda, and then his new girlfriend, now fiance, Laura. And things are really awkward because even though Laura and Calvin have been together for a while, he still has that bond with Miranda. Like, they know each other's favorite ice cream or, favorite television show, just little things like that might add some insecurity to the new girl in town. So yeah, Danny was really feeling awkward because, oh wow, I thought we were going to go out tonight, Tony. Well, actually, I promised the kids that we were going to the movies, but then Tiffany kind of swooped in. Oh, don't worry. Well, I can just take them to the movies and you two can have your date. And then later in the episode, we find out that Tiffany was going to have the kids all night because she was staying with Tony's mom, and then Danny felt some kind of way about it. Now, to me, I feel like Danny, she hasn't been with Tony long enough to have this kind of, I don't want to say attitude, but that kind of perspective of, wow, she's staying at your mom's house. And it's like, well, to my knowledge, based on dialogue, Danny, I don't think you've ever met Tony's mom. I don't think she's ever met Tony's mom. Also, wasn't it earlier in the season when Tony was talking about how so-and-so has my kids? Didn't he talk about how his aunt had the kids? So I guess this is his first time his mom is being mentioned. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure to Tony's mother, the mother of her grandchildren, even being the ex-wife of her son, her, and then, her being in the military and whatnot, armed forces and whatnot, and, being restationed so now she can see her kids. I'm pretty sure Tony's mom has no issue with Tiffany staying compared to, Danny feeling some kind of way about it. So I think that, Danny being worried makes sense because was she getting like a wax or something before the date to make sure, everything was, clear down there so she can, put on the moves on Tony to kind of get his mind off of Tiffany. And then he's acting so nonchalant about it because she's like, oh, you just disregarding my feelings. But it's like, well, again, I do like the fact that she's using more therapy talk, making Tony aware of how he's making her feel in the moment, as opposed to how she will react to Preston, the sarcasm and whatnot, and making him feel uncomfortable until he just ups and leaves. So I do appreciate Danny for being more honest. But to me, I think Tony, to him, it's like, well, this is how things are, And it goes back to the last episode when Danny was talking about how I want to sign for it. You and your badass kids are a package deal, but now things are kind of, a bit more. I guess you could say that before signing, Danny should have read all the terms and conditions, because even Tony was caught off guard with his ex-wife popping up the way she did. So now it's just one of those things where Danny's going to have to realize, okay, my package deal comes with a little something extra at the bottom of the box, which is the dynamic with Tiffany. Now, I don't think Tony is the problem. I think Tiffany could be the problem because Tiffany may still have some feelings for Tony, and you could just see that they have a close bond, going back to her being excited to mention her promotion to Tony. That just, showed that they still have that connection to each other. So I really hope that as the season progresses, we learn more about Tony and Tiffany in terms of why they ended their marriage. But my guess has to do with, her, opting to pursue her, her career, and that causing some conflict there. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Tiffany has come into town not just to, see her kids, but to kind of see where things are with Tony? Do you think Danny has a right to be worried? Or do you think she's kind of overstepping her bounds? Because it's kind of funny how Grayson was overstepping his bounds, coming up into Maurice's apartment and rearranging the closet without his permission, and then acting some type of way when he was ungrateful about it, rightfully so. And then you have Danny, who feels some kind of way about the kid's mom staying with Tony's mom, and it's like, well, that honestly is something that's not really your concern, but yeah, this should be interesting. But regardless, let me know your thoughts in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.